Welcome to our weekly finance talk with the Savvy Women Group. This is where we're giving you tips, advice on your property investment journey and how to use different tips and advice wisely. Each week I'll be delivering a topic based on our blogs that we share with you on a weekly basis. So this week's blog is about HMOs. So our finance talk today is how to add value to your HMO property. And I'll be sharing 5 tips with you. How to increase your HMO value on your property. And these are the tips I'll be sharing with you today. So tip 1, when you're looking to get really good value from your property, it's good to look at whether the property that you're looking at has a loft space. And can you increase the value by going into the loft? We had a property in Liverpool that we had a loft space in there, which allowed us to convert into a room for our HMO and also increase the amount of rent we could ask for that room. Why was this? It's basically because when people go into the loft, they've got a private entry, which we created into the loft. So it felt like a little studio apartment for them. So they were able to have a separate place where they could say outside of the rest of the tenants in the property, and they paid a premium price for this room. So looking at to increase your living space is always looking to get the increase in your loft space, but make sure that you do not go over the ceiling price of the area or the road that you're investing in. Some lofts are not worth converting and others are. So it's always wise to go to an agent and ask them whether putting a loft space or loft room in is going to increase the value on your property and add value to what you're doing for your tenants. It also allows you to have extra space and really does form a good space, because some lofts span the whole floor of the top. So you can actually put bathrooms up there. You could put 2 bedrooms up there if you've got that amount of space in the loft, and you can put a kitchenette or a bathroom. These are all good tips if you're going into the loft space. Tip 2, side back extensions are also good. Going out to the side of a property or extending at the back of the house. Of course, this can also double the height extension. So if you're doing a double-story height extension on the back, you can add extra bedrooms, you can actually add extra bathrooms. Some properties, old properties, have the bathrooms downstairs. So doing a double-story height extension allows you to add that bathroom going upstairs as well. Again, adding value to your property. I have a property that I own in East London, and before I turned it into a HMO, I extended the back, including the new kitchen, and extended the bathroom, which really gave the size of the property, expanded the size of the property, allowing for extra bathrooms, allowing for a bigger kitchen, which was really good when I came to renting it out to the tenants in there. They felt that they had enough space to do what they wanted. And if you've got it was a 3-bedroom semi-detached I had. These are really good as well, because you could do a side return extension on a semi-detached, or even if it's a detached, you could do 2 side return extensions as well. So always look for properties that you can add value to, and you could do a double-story height extension or a 2 side returns or a 1-story back extension. Make sure you get the proper planning permission and make sure that you get the building regs involved in this. And also, when you're doing this kind of extensions as well, make sure you're adding value to it, and always ask your estate agents again whether this is a good value add that you are doing. Tip 3, go for a garage conversion. Now, a lot of people have garages and they just fill it up with junk. We all have, you know, and we've all done that. We've just put a load of junk in there, things that we think, oh, we're going to go back to later on. But you're actually losing money. This is real estate that you're actually square footage you're losing money on. So if you have a garage that you can feel that, you know what, actually I can convert this into an extra living space, a bedroom or a living room or a games room, whatever you need to do, a garage conversion is the way to go. And it's actually one of my favorites as well, because they've become so redundant. You see people, when you open up the garages, you will see people, it's just full of junk, your bikes, kids' toys, old baby clothes, things that you actually don't need. And if you don't need something, get rid of it and use that space to make money from it. And doing these conversions is quite simple to do, and it's cheap to do it in. And there's a lot of people that you can turn into, for example, a studio flat, an extra bedroom, a downstairs bathroom, a dining room. And, you know, adding any one of these types of rooms to this type of space, normally considered dead space, adds rental yield, adds value, and it increases what you can do with your property. Tip 4, conservatory add-on. When you're working with a budget, sometimes it's not possible to do a side or back extension. We all know that, because that could run into several thousand. But adding a simple conservatory on the back allows you to have that additional space where you could put a dining room in there, even a living space in there with a TV. You know, it can be done as an extra room. That could be your living room. So if you're doing a HMO and you've got 2 reception rooms, and you know for regulation purposes, you need a living space for your tenants, you can actually use a conservatory as that living space. It's also very cost effective as well. And you genuinely don't need to get planning permission to do this, because it's on a sub base, and it's cheaper to install a side one or a rear extension than a rear extension. This space can be used as a communal area as well, which frees up your living room space, as I said before, and increases more rental income. You must bear in mind that the type of additional space might not work for every property, but when you have the opportunity presents itself, then you should consider it. Tip 5, interior design. When you're generating a great return on your HMOs or your single let units, it's very cost effective to create a budget. What can you enhance? How can you enhance your property so that when potential tenants come through the door, it's got that wow factor? And that is easily done by basically just decorating, making it look really nice, using a calming palette. Don't use garish colors like lime green on the wall, because that's not to everyone's taste. So try and have taste, try and use colors to everyone's taste. And I use, across my portfolio, I've used your grays and whites. I've even interjected blacks. And you've got different grays and you've got different whites. So you can do that across your portfolio. When people have walked into our properties, it has the wow factor. People are saying, oh, I really like this. It's really nice. It's very clean and it's very inviting. And when you start converting your properties into HMO, research the decor, the types of properties that other people are doing. Look at how they've decorated their properties as well, because it gives you a good idea of how your property should look as well. Something, you know, don't be boring as well. You can have one wall that is 3 walls that is white, and then you could do a backdrop of grays, or you could do a backdrop of any other color. But so long as the rest of the room is not all. So if you was to do a lime green, for instance, I would never do that in my properties, but say, for instance, you wanted to go for and be garish and you wanted to do a lime green, you could do a lime green backdrop wall. So you're keeping to one color at the backdrop and the rest of the room is white. So it just gives an accent to that room, allowing you to then be unique and different, and allowing your tenants to see something different from you as well. I always suggest doing carpets in the bedroom, and in the communal areas doing laminate flooring. You can do carpets on the stairs, it reduces noise as well. And in the bedrooms, why I do carpet, because it does reduce noise. But in the communal areas where everyone's walking in every day, that's coming from your street door, I would do laminate flooring. In the kitchens and bathrooms, tiling, and you've got some fantastic materials out there now. You could even do luxury vinyl as well across the whole house. I took a team out last week of members, and we went shopping, not your traditional shopping, but we looked at different materials that you can use within your properties. When you're doing your research, look at the materials that you can use that are long lasting as well. So you don't have to keep on swapping them out every year if you've got a high turnover like a HMO of tenants coming in and out. Make it simple, make it light. I use warm grays and on the carpets, and I also use different themes in different rooms as well. When I do my HMOs, I actually put a lot of things in the kitchen for my tenants. So I put your pots, your plates, your knife and forks, your glasses. Now, not every HMO has to do this. I am an OTT person, so I actually did it. And it was really a warm welcome. I gave them ironing boards and irons, dustbins for recycling, dustbins for normal waste. So I made sure that they literally could just walk in with their bags and call it home. So they didn't have to think about anything they had to do. Now, you may be thinking, what about breakage and things like that? That's why I said you don't have to do it. You don't have to put these things in because you might have to replenish every time that those tenants move out. But it's an idea to really think of something that's unique to your HMOs that you can add value to within when you're doing the interior design that other HMOs are not offering. That makes you stand out, and it makes someone make a decision very quickly, because when they see the things that is offered within the home, they think, you know what, all I have to do is move in with my bags. And you know, I done bedrooms, I put in wardrobes, side tables, I put in a chest of drawers. So it gave them beds, so it gave them somewhere that they didn't have to think about buying as well. In the living room on a HMO, I put in internet, TVs, settees, dining table, because you have to provide somewhere for them to eat. And I even put in rugs and pictures. I put a lot of effort into building out my HMOs so that when my tenants come, I knew that they were there for the long haul and they would enjoy the space they're living in. And I also looked at it from a perspective of what I would like as well. Because sometimes when you're doing a property, you're doing it slapdash and thinking, oh, it's just tenants going in there. But if you treat them as if they were your own family going in there, you wouldn't be slapdash about it. You'll be thinking about the things that you would want to have around you. You'll be thinking about how you'd want to treat your family members as well. And good tenants always stay. They realize the effort you've put in, and they always look after your property as well. So these are just a few pictures that of my properties in Liverpool. As I said, I kept it very simple, and it's the greys and the whites. I put a washing machine in there, an American fridge, and you know, the flooring was excellent. People were really loving these, and it just rented out really very, very quick. It was a gorgeous HMO that we done, and that's how the palettes that we use across the board. And it just, you know, we didn't have to do an extension on this because we had enough space. It was a 6-bedroom, but we did do the loft. We went into the loft and created a room, and we rented at a premium because of that. But we always made sure that we set a budget. So anything that you're doing, always make sure you set a budget and you're not going over the ceiling price of the road. Again, do your due diligence with your estate agents. Make sure that you have that conversation with them. If I do this, if I add this extension, would it add value? Because if it doesn't add value, don't do it. But in the future, if the prices go up on the properties, you can return to that. So when you're looking for properties, look for properties that you don't necessarily have to do the work straight away, but later on down, you can actually do that work. So I hope you have enjoyed this session with me in our finance session. You know, it's all about understanding how the HMO model works. It's one of the strategies out of, well, 86 strategies that I'm aware of. So when you're looking at building out your property business, make sure you look at all of the things that you need to do for that specific strategy. Today, we talked about HMO, how to extend on a HMO, or how to just add value from doing the interior design on a HMO. What you need to do through the licensing and everything else that goes with the HMO. If you want to find out more information about how you could develop your portfolio using a HMO strategy, please feel free to contact us. Our contact details are here. You can contact myself, Sapphire Gray. These are all we're on social media, 50 Savvy Women. And you can reach out and ask any questions in the chat as well. Love to share any ideas, or if you're feeling stuck and don't know which way to go with your strategy, again, this is something that we can help you with. Feel free to share your comments. and likes. And if you know somebody that's getting into property and wants some more information, we offer a free consultation that we do for 45 minutes. So we can help you plan out your next move into your investments, or your next move into leaving your JOB to start up your property investment business. It's been lovely discussing HMOs with you this week. And next week, I look forward to sharing another topic in our finance school with Sapphire. Thank you and see you next week.